Hello, students. So far, when talking about annotation, we covered text and text styles, and dimension styles. Next, let's talk about multileaders and their associated multileader styles. What is a leader? A leader is a tool to convey information and also to indicate or point to the specific spot to which that information applies. A leader consists of an arrowhead, a line or series of lines, and some texts. So let's take a look at this example that we saw earlier. And this right here piece of information is a leader, and it consists of the arrowhead, which points, okay, the line connecting the arrowhead to the text, and the text, which holds the information. This particular leader is a curved line. That's one style that some people use. Here's another option. This one is an arrowhead and a line and a text. And you see that it's made up of straight lines. So that's another very common leader style. There are 4 ways to make a leader in AutoCAD. And most of this is due to legacy and how these tools have evolved over the many years of this program. The first one is the dim command leader option. All right, this will create a leader, but it's got separate objects for the arrow line with the arrowhead on it, and the text object, which is an mText object. If you select and move the text, it is associated with that leader line, and the leader line will move with it. Not the other way around, though. If you move the leader, the text doesn't come with it. The leader command, or shortcut is lead, it works like the dimension and then leader option, but it has some additional formatting options, and it automatically adds a horizontal landing segment. Let me go back and show you. This piece right here is a horizontal landing segment. It's a really common thing to put on a leader. The next option that AutoCAD created was QLeader. The shortcut is LE. It's a quick leader, so Q for quick. It works like the leader command, but all of those formatting options are available through a dialog box instead of command line entries, so a little bit more user-friendly. And finally, we get to the newest and best leader command, and this is the one that I want you to use all of the time. The only reason that I'm even mentioning the other ones is if you accidentally enter these other commands, you'll be like, oh yeah, Sarah told me about those. All right, so M leader, or the shortcut is MLD for M leader, is a family of commands, truthfully. It's got so many different options. And with the M leader, the arrow line and the text are joined in one object. So you can click and you will select all of it. The M leader has created an M leader style, just like text style and dimension style. You can set those M leader styles. And it is actually, like I just mentioned, a family of commands. So there is also mleader edit, mleader align, and mleader collect. None of which I'm going to go over today, but just so you know. So here's how we access the mleader command. First of all, you can type mleader or MLD, or you can go to the Home tab Annotation panel and click on this piece right here that says leader. Even though it says leader, it's really the M leader command. Or you can go to the Annotate tab Leaders panel and click on the multi-leader icon. Once you've placed a multi-leader, you can use the grips to easily edit it. And one of those options, interestingly, is to create a spline or a curved line instead of the angular lines, if you prefer that for your leaders. So let's talk about multi-leader styles. The command is mleader style. And unlike every other command that we've talked about this semester, I was unable to find a shortcut for this. So typically I would use the icons for this particular command. So you can find it in the Home tab annotation panel. So here we are, Home tab annotation panel, and then you have to pull down and you can find this little icon. It looks like a leader with a little paintbrush, or you can then click on Manage Multi-Leader Styles. In the Annotate tab Leaders panel, and that's right here, Annotate tab Leaders panel, you can access the multi-leader style as this tiny little arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. Or if you click on this pull-down list of multi-leader styles loaded in your drawing, you can manage your multi-leader styles. This should be familiar to you by now, all right, because it is very similar to text styles and dimension styles. I do want to warn you, there's a caveat here that mleader style is not the same command as ML style. ML is a multi-line. It's a line that is composed of two different lines, like two parallel lines, or three, or multiple, and not a multi-leader. So multi-line is different than multi-leader. Once you have used any of those methods for entering the multi-leader style manager, this is the window that you're going to see. Just like in your text and dimension styles, the multi-leader style manager is where you will see the list of all the styles currently loaded in your drawing. And then you're able to set the current style, create a new style, or modify any of the existing styles you've got in your drawing. So let's pop over to AutoCAD and see if we can demonstrate how to use a multi-leader. First of all, let's place one in our drawing. We can use the Home tab, Annotation panel, and we can use this leader icon right here. Notice if you pull down that flyout option right here, you've got some more options in the multi-leader command. Remember, this is like a family of commands all to do with leaders. And so I'll leave you to explore those on your own. I'd like to use just the plain place a leader command right now. So I'll click on that. And you can see down in my command line, it says specify leader arrowhead location. Or there's some other options, but I want to specify that arrowhead location. So let me zoom in right here and say I want to point at this corner. I will click there. And then my prompt changes to specify leader landing location. I will click in a location that I want right here. And now I am entered into the text editor. And I can enter whatever text I want to because I'm pointing to this point, and I'm the whole idea here is that I'm adding information to my drawing. So I will add some text. Notice if you this little pull right here, this icon sets the width of your text window if you want. Now I'm done with that, and I can either go up here and click on Close Text Editor, or I can click out of my text box. All right, I can't just hit return because this is a multi-line text, and that will just take me to the next line of my text. So I'm going to click out of my text box. Okay. And I'm done. My multi-line, my multi-leader has been created. Let's zoom in on it. It's very, very small. But here you can see that it is an object with an arrowhead. Okay. And it's got a little landing line, and it's got my beautiful text that conveys so much information. Once I click on it, you can see I clicked once, and it is all one object. And you can use the grips. For example, you can grab, I want this to be closer. All right. You can modify the length of that landing line. You can change the size of your text. You can enter more text however you want. Fabulous text here. All right. Change the size of that text box. And if you wanted to, you could make it point at a different place. So there's a lot of grip options here. But I would like my leader to look a little bit different. So I would like to change my leader style. Let's go access the Multi-Leader Style Manager. Here in the Home tab, Annotation panel, I'm going to pull down. I can see that my current multi-leader style is standard, but I'd like to modify that. So I'm going to choose this multi-leader style icon right here. Once I've done that, I will pop up the multi-leader style manager. This should be relatively familiar to you by this time. And I think I would like to take the standard style and create a new style based on it. So I will click on the new button. My new style name is going to be Fabulous Model Space Multi-Leader Style, whatever you want. All right. I'm basing it off of or starting with the current standard style, and I will click Continue. So this will look similar to the Dimension Style Manager, but it's got less options. That Dimension Style Manager is very, very complex. So there are tabs across the top here, and the first one is Leader Format. And you can choose straight leaders or spline, which is the curved leaders. That's entirely up to you and the design firm that you are working for. I prefer straight leaders. Choose their color or line type or line weight. You can choose the symbol, whether you like the closed filled arrowhead, or some architectural firms specifically like that open 30. 30 is in 30 degrees. Choose that. It looks like this. Sometimes you'll see, especially in engineering drawings, a dot. Could be a small. Or, by the way, there's a user arrow choice down here if you want to define your own arrow. I'm going to keep the default of the closed filled. I think it's a just fine arrowhead. You can set the size of that arrowhead, and I will change that right now. And the leader break, by the way, is for when there is a break or a line in the leader. All right, so we're going to leave that as the default right now. Let's move to the leader structure tab. Maximum leader points. So if you want your leader to go from here to here, and then there, and there, and there, and then over there, yeah, over there, okay, then you'll want to increase this maximum leader points. 2 is very, very standard, and that's going to be the point that you're pointing at, the arrowhead point, and then the this point right here where your landing hits. You can tell it to automatically include this landing and set a specific landing distance. This is useful for making all of your leaders look very much alike, and so I like this setting. And you can make it annotative right here. And let's talk about the content of your leader. Yes, we want it to be a M-text leader, but if you wanted, for example, a symbol like a circle with a number in between to tag something, you could choose the block setting right here. Most of the time, you're going to want the M-text setting. You can choose your text style. I'm going to choose the big title style that I created right there. Text angle, you can keep it horizontal. That's the standard. You can choose a text color or height. In this case, the text height is specified by the style, and so I can't choose it right here. There are some options for the leader connection right here. Is it going to connect to the text horizontally or vertically? Horizontal is an architectural standard, so we'll go ahead and keep that one. So I like all of these options, and I'm going to click OK. This is now my fabulous model space style, multi-leader style, and I'm going to set it as the current and close this multi-leader style manager. Oh, but my multi-leader didn't change. That's because it's not set to this style. So I can change it. There's a couple different ways. One is over here in the properties palette. The other is in the annotate panel. Where is it? Leaders tab. Sorry, annotate tab, leaders panel. I've selected this object and I can pull down and choose the fabulous model space multi-leader style. And it changes right now. Ooh, this is much. I made it too small for that, so I'm going to adjust this. Okay. Ooh, okay, now that I see this in its full size, I don't like my arrowhead size. I think I'm going to change that. How am I going to do that? Well, here's, let's go back to our style manager. And I'm going to choose this tiny little button right here, the fabulous model space style. I'll modify it. Where do you think that arrow size is? Oh, here it is. I want my arrow to be bigger. Let's make it 8 inches. Okay, close, and you can see that my arrowhead got bigger. Okay, there's a lot of options to do with multi-leaders. If you notice, I can pull my multi-leader in all over the place using the grips. I can even pull it to the other side of my drawing, and the multi-leader automatically mirrors over here so that we can keep that we can keep it legible and see it on either side of the drawing. Okay, everyone, multi-leaders are another powerful tool for annotation, and I recommend that you always use the multi-leader command and not any of those older or legacy leader commands that are still available in AutoCAD. Thanks, everyone.